What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be the Challenge Total Madness Episode 1 recap. This is going to be more of a minimal detail recap. So basically, if you haven't seen the episode, I won't go into full depth, but I'm going to cover the most important points. So like I said in my prediction video, it seemed like this year that there weren't going to be teams. So first thing that happened is the entire cast was transported to where they would meet TJ Lavin, the host. When they meet TJ, that's when he explains what the theme or the name of the season is, and then just gives an introduction to the cast. He gave them some hints as to what the season would entail, but basically he did say this is going to be an individual game. However, he said sometimes you'll be paired and sometimes you'll be on a team. So my interpretation of this is that when they have their weekly challenges, there might be times where it's just a partner challenge, a team challenge, and it's probably going to be just randomized how they're partnered or teamed up with somebody. But overall, it's going to be an individual game. He did mention that the prize is going to be $1 million again this season. However, he did not say how many people were going to be able to be in the finals, if it's going to be 3 people total, if it's going to be 3 guys and 3 girls. So the first challenge actually started right then and there. He said, welcome to your first challenge. They did go in 2 different heats. So there was a guy's heat and a girl's heat. I'm going to read off the description of the challenge that they had to make sure I don't miss any important points. So the competitors had to pull heavy barrels on a string, then do a puzzle, then continue to pull those barrels on a string, then do a math problem, and then carry some weight. Puzzles and math were already on the first challenge, so that's interesting. Usually in the finals, they always have these types of math problems and puzzles to trip people up. They're starting with those right out the gate. The slower you pull, the bigger the chance you had to get eliminated. So Wes and Jordan were actually the first people eliminated from that challenge, which was actually pretty shocking to me. Jay, Swaggy, and the Soph were the next 3 eliminated. Corey, Kyle, and Nelson were eliminated next, followed by Bear, Josh, and Johnny Bananas. So we eventually got down to our final 3. Those were Rogan, CT, and Fessy. So if you remember in my recap video, I did happen to mention that Rogan I'm not a fan of. So at this point I'm rooting for CT or Fessy, but also kind of hoping Fessy wins just to kind of prove himself as a rookie and show that he's a strong competitor. But Rogan ended up winning the challenge for the guys' heat. So on to the girls' heat. Melissa, Kayla, and Nany were the first 3 eliminated. Ashley, Jen from Amazing Race, and Jenna were the next 3 eliminated. After them, Bailey and Maddie were eliminated, and I was kind of surprised here because I thought Maddie would make it a little farther this round, but Bailey was still in it at this point, and as a rookie, that was pretty good for her. And after that, Tori, Anissa, and Casey were eliminated. And again, this shocked me because I thought Casey, I really thought all 3 of these would have been the top 3 in this specific challenge. Those 3 were all eliminated at the same time, so that just left a top 2 in the girls' heat, which was Jenny and Dee. Jenny was the winner of the girls' heat, and Rogan was the winner of the guys' heat. After the challenge, they all come together again, and TJ officially announces them as the winner, and he also announces that the winners are going to be the first 2 members of the tribunal. If you are new to the challenge, the tribunal is pretty much a group of 3 who are all safe from elimination that week. They also get to nominate 1 person that is up for elimination. So we have Rogan and Jenny in the tribunal, but they have to pick a 3rd person to join them. They can choose any player from the bunch, and they kind of were strategizing who would be a good person to pick. They kind of made it seem like they wanted to go with someone a little more neutral, so they ended up picking Corey. So how the elimination is going to work is that the tribunal is going to narrow down 3 people, and out of these 3 people, they're going to get a chance to interview them, ask them why they want to stay in the competition, why they shouldn't go up for elimination, and then they will pick one of those 3. Now that person is going to go against the person that the house chooses. So the house, anyone that is not in the tribunal, is also going to vote and nominate 1 person to throw into the elimination, and that's how they're going to get there too. So before all this deliberation and plotting happens, the challengers got to go to the challenge house. So when the challengers arrive to the house, they're super pumped to get there, and as they enter, they're thrown off a little bit. I wouldn't even call it a house, I would call it a bunker. There are no windows. Contestants walked in and they were like, is this a joke? Like, I'm so confused. What's going on? They found their different rooms. They found a common area. They did have a gym, a kitchen stocked with champagne and things like that. And there was a swimming pool. The only catch is that it looks like it's in a giant bunker pretty much. So they feel closed in. And I think this is going along with that theme of total madness. It's really going to test their mental strength this season, I think. So right away, challengers start mingling like they always do, meeting all the rookies officially, just talking, hanging out. Nany has her sights on Asaf already, so she's getting her flirt on with a rookie. Kayla, Nany, and Jenna were hanging out, of course. Like I mentioned in my previous video, I predicted that they would be in an alliance. They are best friends outside of the house, and it did show on camera that they agreed to be their final 3. So no matter what, they weren't breaking that alliance. It was going to be the 3 of them together. Other alliances weren't so noticeable to me yet. It was just the first episode, so I'm sure a lot more will be discovered as time goes on. So we get to the time where the house is going to vote on who to throw in. My prediction was that they're gonna throw in rookies, of course, because that's usually what happens. They want the rookies to prove themselves. So they all sit in a circle and they go around and they vote for someone. There were 2 names that were coming up pretty much for the whole circle, Asaf and Jay. Understandably, these are both rookies, so it makes sense that they were voting them in. I was a little surprised that no one wanted to throw in Swaggy. I'm assuming people didn't want to throw in Fessy because he is strong, he's a powerhouse. He most likely would have come back, and so they don't want to get on someone's bad side. I will note that Jay seemed a little upset by these votes. I think that he was kind of trying to defend himself, and I think in this situation he probably just should have kept quiet, accepted the fact that his name was getting tossed around, because you don't want to get on someone's bad side, like I said already. But he came on kind of strong and defensive, and it's like, well, Swaggy's a rookie too, why is no one voting him in? Well, that led to Bailey getting pretty mad because, like I said, Bailey and Swaggy are engaged. No one messes with her man. Those words came right from her mouth. So she's getting pretty irritated and starts going off. So I don't think Bailey should have reacted the way she did. And it's interesting because she ended up voting for Asaf to go in instead of Jay, even though she seemed kind of ticked off at Jay. So finally, Asaf is the last one in this circle to cast his vote. And for some reason, he votes for Wes. So literally, out of the entire cast, it's Jay and Asaf. And right when it comes down to his time to vote, he calls out Wes. So one, he's either trying to prove himself as the I don't give a F attitude. I'm gonna call out someone who I know is a good competitor, who's been on the show forever. Or he's just not a fan of Wes, I guess. But I didn't see anything that showed that Wes was doing anything to instigate any drama. Or Wes was even showed on camera talking about how he wanted to kind of lay low this season. And so understandably, Wes was a little like, what the heck, when Asaf nominated him. So Wes got a little vocal about that, like, what did I do? What are you talking about? And so they got into it a little bit, and in the end, Asaf was the one to get voted in elimination. But the tribunal still had to pick someone else to go in against Asaf. So the tribunal decided to throw out 3 names: Jay, Wes, and Kyle. And after the interviews are over, no one finds out who's actually going into elimination until it is elimination time. So everyone arrives to the elimination pit, which this year is called Purgatory. So they get to the elimination floor, and the tribunal has to cast their vote publicly. And each member of the tribunal picks Jay. So with a vote of 3-0, Jay is going into elimination against Asaf. The elimination is called airstrike. Pretty much what happens is they both are holding onto a bar with a big plate of what looks like glass, but I'm assuming it's plastic, between them. What you have to do is get your opponent to fall off. So pretty much like if you try kicking the plastic or whatever the material is, you can kind of make the other person wiggle. So there's a couple different strategies. So Asaf is going the route where he's really wiggling up there. He's trying to kick and get Jay to fall down, and Jay is kind of just hanging on. When it comes down to it, Jay is the one to win the Purgatory Elimination Challenge, and Asaf is sent home. So after TJ announces Jay the winner, he gives him a red skull to put on his helmet. People are a little confused, and TJ explains that there are going to be different stickers that you get put on your helmet. I'm not sure if they said what the other ones were going to mean, but he did mention that the red skull is the most important, and Jay just earned his first red skull. So yeah, I guess that meant he won the elimination. TJ finally says, "I'm done with people skating by. The only way to make it to the final is to win an elimination." Everyone is shocked. Some people look scared and intimidated. Some people are clapping and they're like, yeah, that's the way it should be. So I think it's going to be a mix of emotions for everyone. I'm wondering if people are actually going to be almost begging to be put in an elimination then. Usually people are just skating by. They don't want to go into the elimination if they don't have to, but knowing that they can only make it into the finals, if they go into an elimination and win, then more people might be wanting to go into these eliminations. And before I wrap this video up, I just want to point out one more interesting thing that was mentioned in the episode. As we all know, Johnny and Wes have been rivals forever, but it looks like they might be working together this season. It seems like they have admitted that things don't work when they're on separate teams. They don't normally advance that far when they're at each other's throats and trying to recruit other people into their alliance. And so it looks like this year they might be teaming up. Based on a clip that we were shown, Corey might be a little bit onto them. He said it seems like something's going on. But other than that, it seems like everyone else is just kept in the dark. We'll see how long it takes for everyone to catch on that Johnny and Wes are working together. But I'm excited to see where things go this season. So if you like these recaps, I'll try to get them up on Fridays after each episode airs. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.